Hey there, welcome back. So I'm Bethany and I work with Simply for Life here as a holistic nutritional consultant. So we are talking today about the Fit Fiber Challenge, and this is video 2. So we're actually going to be talking today about how to slowly add in more soluble fiber back into your child's daily diet if they're not eating enough. So I know it's not always easy trying to get fiber into kids' foods. Like, I have 2 boys myself, so I understand the struggles that go along with it. But one big important thing a lot of parents seem to forget is that fiber actually needs water to get through the body and move around the system. So what I want to recommend to you is the daily intake of water for your child. So on average, between 4 to 8 years old, you want to be having your kids drink roughly about 5 to 7 cups of water a day. For a child that's 9 to 13-year-old, we were looking at about 7 to 8 cups of water per day. And 14 to 18 years old, we're looking roughly to 8 to 11 cups per day. So that's really important, first of all, because if they're not getting enough water and they're drinking pop, they're drinking like fruit juice all the time, maybe drinking teas, black teas, things like that, it's actually dehydrating their body. And the fiber, it's great, but you need the water to help it move around the system as well and help with the digestive system, basically. So today, to recap, we're going to talk about the soluble fiber, and soluble fiber can dissolve in water. So I'm going to give you some tips here just for moms and dads, basically for soluble fiber, helping your kid get some more in during the day. So this is where things like smoothies come in handy a lot for children. They usually do not like vegetables so much, so if you have something like a really good blender and you can blend it on high speed, I usually would suggest to add their favorite fruits, so something that could mask like a vegetable, like spinach or kale that they're not usually going to eat on their own. I would put that in the blender and then put in something like frozen bananas. You can put in like apples if you have a really good blender. Maybe squeeze some oranges in there for citrusy fruits, strawberries, berries. Frozen foods right now are really good in terms of fruits and vegetables and things like that if you are on a budget. So if you want to put there could be some like kale in there, or it could be some frozen spinach maybe. I wouldn't put too much vegetables in there, because once you blend it up, you want them to be able to not taste the vegetables, obviously. But if you're adding in something that is more soluble, that would be really nice for the kids, and it'd be tasty as well. Another way to get kids to eat more vegetables, in a sense that they can actually have with their foods, is more so blending it up into a tomato paste. So if you already buy like tomato sauce, I would add a few more vegetables in there that you can also blend into the blender as well, and putting it with a whole grain pasta. So this is something that a lot of people seem to forget, is that we're feeding our kids like chicken nuggets and white pasta, white rice, but that's sticky in the digestive tract, and we're not getting enough fiber in. So if you are gonna make them pasta or do like breaded, like chicken and things like that, try and use like whole grain if you can, because it's gonna have more fiber in there, and it's gonna help move the system around, and it's gonna make them feel fuller longer as well. So typically with children, if you feed them like a white pasta and it's, you know, you've got some kind of a sugary sauce in there, it's going to spike their blood sugars, and they're going to be quite hyperactive, unfortunately, and usually hungry within like an hour, and then you're having to give them another snack. So make sure there's lots of fiber, like I said, with the whole grains, and whole grain crackers too is really good. Another good suggestion for some fibers for foods in terms of vegetables would be sweet potato fries, really good for children. And even using things like turnips, and like we have carrots and stuff in our house. Turnips, you know, honestly, I made them for my kids, and they didn't honestly know the difference. You put it with some ketchup or some ranch dip, and kids just love to dip and use anything as a fry. So even adults, actually. So it's a good way to kind of get more fiber into the diet as well. Now, in terms of soluble fiber, this is something, like I said, soluble, dissolves in water. This is where we can kind of sneak this in a little bit, is the, like I said, psyllium husk. This is something that is a soluble fiber, not using too much of this because it can cause the opposite effect. You can put that into a smoothie, just a small little teaspoon, or I would make sure you're not doing too many of these things, one or the other. Flaxseed oil would be really good as well, or flax powder. You can grind it up if you have the seeds. Or you could do chia seeds that you could put on some cereal as well for children, or put them in smoothies, or make pudding out of it. Like I said before, oatmeal is really good as well. So that way I usually get my boys to eat oatmeal in the morning because it actually keeps them fuller longer as well. And it's a soluble fiber that helps the digestive system. Now I put something here in terms of we have soluble fiber in some of our nuts, so especially walnuts and almonds. We can actually, what I do here is I take them out and I put them in water so you can see what I've done. So what I do is I actually soak them in water overnight, and what you'll notice is all this film and stuff comes up from the nuts and everything, and then you rinse it off, and then you can rinse the nuts and stuff, and then it's an actual much easier way for children to eat nuts and seeds because they're not too hard and they're chewy and soft. So the one thing I would say is to make sure you put them in the fridge afterwards, because they will go bad quickly because you have now sprouted them. And what it actually does is it actually opens up the nuts itself, and it helps your body digest it better. So it's actually a chewier, easier, soluble fiber to digest. And like I said, these are a great snack for kids and super chewy for them. So thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for our third video to get your kids to eat more insoluble foods. And these are the ones all about the dreaded veggies. So in good health, and I'll see you soon.